Pardon my tardiness, gentlemen. How are we doing tonight? How are you feeling about the Jazz game? I mean, I could probably tell, but enlighten me anyways, as if I have no clue in the world. I'm trying to take my socks off. Okay. Now that that's been taken care of. A lot to love, a lot to enjoy. How's it going, Logic? I'm alive. I am alive. Jordan Clarkson back from injury, 30 points. Chris Dunn starting at point guard. 8 points, 8 boards, 13 assists. Pretty good. What's up with the wrench? Oh, yeah, he's a mod. Oh, speaking of which, there's Tayton. You weren't in here last night when I did it. Hang on, Tayton. Yeah. Okay, cool. Tayton now has a wrench as well. You three are very important. Let's see what we can appreciate about this one. Survey says they played a back-to-back. Don't care, though. A win is a win. A win is a win. And on the road, no less. We will most certainly accept it. I'm certainly not complaining. Oh, what does it do? Not really anything. It's just like chat mod. I'm not really sure. Hold on, let me actually. Well, no, because I have to remove it from you to actually like check it. I think it has something to do with like making polls and stuff. I don't know. It's just cool to make y'all mods. That said, let me pull up these advanced metrics real quick. I don't know how to feel about Clarkson taking that many shots at this point. It's great that we won. He did hit half his shots. Yeah. Cosmetically fixing the team. That's what it is. I like the way you think. Is my internet bugging? No, it's good. Okay. All right. So, survey says Clarkson had a good night. He boosted his trade value a little bit. He's out the door. The Rockets are the team that wants him the most. Shooting, and 2 of his misses were because Kessler threw it to him in like 1 second. Not even mad at him for missing those 2 ones. Hey, not mad at it at all. Walker Kessler coming off the bench is a little bit of a conundrum to me, but I'm not mad. They started Colin Sexton, gave him 25 minutes, 5-11 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3-point line, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 3 assists, a steal, and only 1 turnover. Chris Dunn was 3 of 11 from the field today. He was 2 of 6 from 3, but he had 8 boards, 13 assists, a steal, a block, and only 2 turnovers. So that's a beautiful ratio. We were looking for a table setter, and these past 2 games he's been showing it. Obviously 8 points, so just shy of a double-double. But he was plus 10. He had the 3rd highest plus-minus, box plus-minus. Jordan Clarkson led all with plus 19 and Walker Kessler plus 17, which was pretty good. What's up, Lee? Yes, sir. Ugly make things difficult. Nah, you're good, man. Let's see. What do we have here? John Collins starting at the center again, 4-7 from the field, hit both of his threes, 5 boards, so, calm, 10 and 5 in 26 minutes. Kelly Olynyk played 16 minutes starting alongside Larry Markkinen. First game that Fontecchio didn't start in a minute, if memory serves me right. That said, Kelly Olynyk 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 boards, 7 assists, 7 points, so 7-4-7 in a block, no turnovers. He was still foul prone, had 4 of them in just 16 minutes, which is actually maddening. Wow. Yeah, but it happened. Kelly Olynyk, obviously, 12 of 21, 57% from the field, 4 of 10 from 3, which is something that I was hoping to see from him sooner than later. Good. I would have loved for him to hit a fifth, but, I'm not complaining with 4 of 10. It's a great percentage on high volume. Hit both of his free throws, 9 boards, 2 of them being offense, 5 assists. It was a really big assist. Yeah, it was pretty solid from an assist standpoint, considering that it wasn't by committee this time. You had Jordan Clarkson with 6, you had Chris Dunn with 13, you had Colin Sexton with 3, you had Kelly Olynyk with 7, and you had Larry Markkinen with 5. And outside of that, you just had Walker Kessler with 1. That said, pretty solid. Lowry also had 3 steals and only 1 turnover in 38 minutes, almost 39 minutes. Pretty good. Jordan Clarkson off the bench, 11 of 22, 50% from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. Hit all 4 of his free throws, 3 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, only 2 turnovers, which is obviously, with his season average being 3, pretty darn good. Obviously 30 points, highest box plus minus. He came out after his first return to this is actually the first game he's played that he has not started in. The last time he came back from injury, he was immediately inserted into the starting lineup. So I guess Colin Sexton is getting a little bit of favor, temporarily at least. Jordan Clarkson still got to play 30 minutes because he was the hot hand. He was getting buckets alongside Lowry. He still shot more shots than Lowry, but they both ended up with 30. I'm not mad at it because he was 4 of 9 from 3 and did hit 50% of his shots from the field, so acceptable. Fontecchio only played 19, about 20 minutes. 2 or 3 from the field. All 3 of them were threes. Had an offensive rebound, a steal, and 3 turnovers. He was the team leader in turnovers, actually. We only had 11 turnovers this game, by the way, which is also chef's kiss, pretty good. Walker Kessler off the bench, 25 minutes, 5-6 from the field, 8 boards, 3 of them being offensive, had the assist, and then 2 blocks to go along with a single turnover. So he had a calm 10 and 8. Plus, box plus minus was second highest out of the entire team at 17. Ochai, 3 of 5 from the field in 24 minutes. 1 of 3 from 3. Hit both of his free throws, though. 3 defensive rebounds, a block, a turnover. So a calm 9 and 3. Box plus minus of 8. So fifth on the team overall. Larry Markkinen was 4th with plus 8. That said, the no plays were Omer, Bryce, Luka, Johnny, and Taylor. Overall, as a team, 52.7% from the field on 91 field goal attempts, and 17 of 38 from 3, which worked out to 44.7. 92% from the free throw line, 13 of 14. 41 rebounds, 8 of them being offensive. 35 assists, which is slightly above the usual. 7 steals, 5 blocks, only 11 turnovers. Overall, pretty solid from just a stat sheet perspective. Let me see. Blue Font Family Logic. Doing good. Glad we got a W tonight. Yep. Yes, sir. Yo, I'm at a Christmas party. Talk to you later. Love you. Oh, yes, sir, Tyson. So glad we were in so glad they were in a back-to-back. You can see the fatigue in the fourth. Absolutely, yes. Allowing for 71 and a half to a team on a back-to-back is unacceptable. Yes, the first half, definitely, obviously, they did not look like a team that was on a back-to-back, much less a team that was, 11 and 18 at the time? 11 and 17? They didn't look like they played better than their record. Obviously, the fourth quarter was what made the difference, and the Jazz took full advantage of them being on a back-to-back to go ahead and close this bad boy out. Marking with +4 assists in the last 2 games, triple-double watch. I don't know about triple-double watch, but playmaking definitely is what was missing from his game, right? That was the biggest reason why I personally would say he's not a number one option on offense, because he falls more into the Klay Thompson type of realm, where a lot of his shots come off the catch. He relies on other people to set things up for him. He doesn't take too many multi-dribble shots, which is nothing wrong with that, absolutely, because when you think of Klay Thompson, you think of efficiency, which when you think of Larry Marketing shooting, you think of efficiency. Also combined in the fact that he's a very well-to-do rebounder and a solid defender, could do a little bit better. They want to put him in a position where he's like the Jaren Jackson Jr. roaming off of the weak shooter on defense, but that just hasn't really happened so much lately. But that comes with time. Man, looked at the metrics. And 3 of the starts have minus for us tonight. Sound like it. Okay, so call yesterday. Aw. Look at Oakley learning words. Let's see here, gentlemen. Scotty. 12 23, 52% from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. Scotty Barnes really, in the beginning of the year, I made the video talking about how he needed to create a jumper or find a jumper. Definitely found it, by the way. It's there. 4 of 8 is pretty solid sample size. Four of 4 from the free throw line as well, to go along with his dang 14 boards and 7 assists and 1 block. So, well, he did have 4 turnovers, though. Kind of to be expected with his usage, though, I suppose. 32, 14, and 7 is a tough stat line, though. I don't know what it is, but Lowry's shot is just beautiful. I love how crisp it hits the back run. I love to see it. Something about the arc and speed of something, my favorite shot to watch. Can't be mad at it. Can't be mad at it. I definitely respect that. I definitely respect that take. Let's see. Pascal Siakam, 7 of 20. He shot atrocious today. 0 of 2 from beyond the arc as well, but he did go 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Had 9 boards, 6 assists, and only 1 turnover. So 19, 9, and 6 isn't a terrible stat line for him, but that 7 of 20 from the field was kudos to the men guarding him. Jakob Poeltl, 1 of 4 from the field in 21 minutes, 2 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 2 blocks. OG in 36 minutes, 8 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, solid, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Had 2 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and no turnovers. So 19, 2, and 4. Not bad, not bad. That said, Dennis Schroeder, 4 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Had 3 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals, but 4 turnovers, which obviously is not ideal. But 11, 3, and 7 isn't a terrible line. But considering he played 33 minutes, perhaps you want a little bit more out of him. Gary Trent Jr., 6 of 12 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, right, coming off the bench. Had 2 turnovers, so really just buckets and a couple turnovers. Precious Achua, 21 minutes, 21 seconds. 3 of 7 from the field, missed all 3 of his threes. Had 2 free throws, though. 2 boards, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. And no turnovers. So 8 points, 2 boards. Then you had Malachi Flynn in 14 minutes, 1 of 3, and Chris Boucher, 3 of 3 from the field. He hit his 1-3, though, and was 2 of 3 from the free throw line. So he had 9 points, 3 boards, and an assist to Malachi Flynn's 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists. 6 assists in 14 minutes is pretty tough. And no turnovers. Who just popped in? James, what's up, man? By the way, 1.19 subs. Couldn't be happy to see your channel again. Well deserved growth. Yup, definitely needed it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My short made like 25 cents. I was like, oh, that's a little higher than I thought it was gonna be. Not gonna lie, because I heard shorts are just like terrible. I mean, admittedly, there's no good return on investment with shorts. It's just more so to bring other people to your channel and become interested. That said, the money from shorts isn't that great. Kessler was awesome in the fourth. He is back to being a top 5 rim protector. You think so? You think so? I'm interested to see why he's coming off the bench playing just 20 minutes. I don't know if it's like he's low key hurt and they don't want to stretch their luck too bad. Not that I hate him playing 25 minutes, but it's just interesting that he comes off the bench to do it. I guess because they want to have John Collins get his usual, but then Kelly Olynyk starting as well. So interesting. I don't know. Money, what's up, man? My skin is peeling. Hate to say it, but we need to reduce Collins' role. He should be banned from taking mid-range shots and more limited in dribbling. He's a walking turnover, bad decision maker. He didn't have any turnovers today, though. His walking. I only want to see dunks, threes, and offensive rebounds. Fair enough, because it's been statistically top 5 season in rim protection. I bite on that. I will bite on that, actually. Money. And you're a fool. His air ball should have counted as a turnover. James says statistically, at least Kessler is 3rd in blocks per game in top 10 opponent field goal at the rim versus him. Really? That top 10 opponent field goal at the rim versus him is that kind of surprising? I don't think it should be as surprising as I think it's popping into my head. Let's see. Well, we're gonna ask Stats Muse to see some specific data on the matter. That said, John Collins or Colin Sexton. Sexton has been an all-star level point guard over the last 5 games he started. He gets stripped whenever he tries to post up so high. Oh, if I have to keep one, definitely Colin Sexton. Bias aside, the simple fact of the matter is he's just better at his specific role. And considering the money that he's getting paid, also you have to take that into account. And the more untradeable contract is obviously John Collins, which makes things a little bit rougher. But you know, it gets it just misunderstood what I was asking it. What if I just go back and just do opponent field goal percentage at the rim versus Walker Kessler? No, of course you don't understand. It just pulled up a J.R. Smith meme to me. I'm dead. What if I just do Walker Kessler opponent field goal percentage at the rim? I'll look it up later. Sorry. Last year, Kessler led the league in field goal percentage. I'll definitely buy that. So I missed the game with Sexton guarding Barnes most of the night because one of the ways I see Sexton having one of the worst minus on our team. Ooh, you bring up a good point. He did have the worst box plus minus out of everybody. Kind of could have attributed to it. Let me see. He's neck and neck with Gobert last time I checked. I believe it. I compare them loosely to each other anyways. Obviously, Walker isn't quite up to standard, and Rudy Gobert is different. Walker is obviously a little bit more offensively talented and skilled, but it's just not a. It's a negligible advantage for him in overall categories. But yeah, if they're neck and neck, I definitely buy that. This is something I've touched in my latest video I'm uploading tomorrow. But since the Jazz went zone the past 7 games, Walker's averaging 3.8 blocks per game before he was at 2.1. And Walker's box plus minus is negative 7.8 in the 14 games he played in. And after the zone, he's respectable 2.8. That is interesting. Though that, shall we attribute it to them running the zone properly then? Not just simply the fact that they're running a zone, but because there were times at the beginning of the season where they attempted to run a zone and they just couldn't effectively do it. I would say that them properly funneling the offensive drivers to Walker Kessler in a way that he can properly, clean up and do what it do, also has something to do with it. But that's also very interesting. That's a drastic change in box plus minus. John Collins is going to be a career bench player past this season. So at this point, it's just how much you value him playing for us off the bench. True. I'm on board with that take. I just hate whenever I see him dribbling. I have a heart attack every time because I know it's going to be a miss or a turnover 85% of that time. Also type out tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Yep. I got you, Lee. For me, you have to choose between Sexton and JC. Who's you're moving forward as an organization? I don't see them getting rid of both. I'd agree, because if you get rid of both, you guarantee you're a lottery pick team at the end of this year. Unless you can get a solid guard back in the trade. And I don't know if that happens. Maybe I've heard that they want to trade for they were once they started sharding. Wow. Once they started shopping Jordan Clarkson, the Rockets have been the team with the biggest amount of interest because they need a sense of scoring. And I guess this was his audition tape for them. That 11 of 22, 4 of 9 from 3, hitting all 4 of his free throws. Definitely a positive for him specifically. For us, it's like, who can we get from them? Maybe they'll be willing to unload Jalen Green. I don't know. I love Jalen Green though. That's twin. Partial to him, though he does have his defensive issues, in my personal opinion. But I would say that's not the worst thing in the world. And another young piece at the guard position wouldn't hurt things at the very least. He's a pretty efficient scorer, in my opinion. That said, let me actually look at these percentages before I just mislead you guys. Jalen Green. 17, 4.5, and 3.1 true shooting. Ooh. I was slightly misleading you. I was definitely slightly misleading you. He's shooting 39.6% from the field. So, yeah, I think they would definitely be willing to trade him. He's shooting 12.5 attempts a game. So, that would be a slight overall upgrade for us. Well, no, not 12.5. That's over his past 5 games. But either way, it's north of 10. So, I think they would be willing to part with Jalen Green low-key. I think it would be a good – it would be a potentially good adjustment for us to make. We'll see. We'll see. I think that Jalen Green could be a good player. I think him going to the Rockets was not the best thing because the Rockets had no sense of discipline and they were in the middle of a rebuild. And coming into a team that literally gave James Harden everything that he wanted, and then James Harden still ended up leaving because he couldn't win with what they gave him that he literally asked for. Not the best look, especially when you bring in a young shooting guard who's a scorer and you put him on pace alongside what was the he's currently a jailbird, or he might be out now. It escapes me. Kevin Porter Jr. Yeah. That said, let's see. Yeah, the zone was putrid at the beginning of the season, known as being an aggressive point of attack defender. True. I would attribute it to the zone properly because Walker can be near there and block shots. Yep, aside from tonight, man-to-man defense is mostly resulted in made basket usually within 5 feet. Agreed. Oh, the basket? Yep, agreed. And that 0.6 second shot was so juicy. Um, Also, Will Hardy has done some crazy zones lately, like the 2-1-2. Yes, in the first half. Yeah. I thought I was the only person that really like paid attention to it. Um, Obviously they're trying new things. There's no guarantees as to what they're going to get going forward, but it's a little bit interesting, put mildly. That said, what are we looking at? Send me a man, please. If he could be healthy, that would be a potentially good pick. Cool Slick, what's up, man? You're um we said Green is JC 2.0, just uber athletic. I think he's a little bit more coachable than JC is. Maybe that's just me just chatting. It, whatever the case may be, I know he has the ability to be efficient. He just has not been efficient in the Rockets offense. So I would like to think that given the proper coaching and put in the proper system, he would have no choice but to be efficient. But that's also like a whole lot of wishful thinking. And we know how wishful thinking and draft picks goes in the NBA. Let me see. Apparently, Will is putting in a new zone package that they are practicing but haven't brought it out yet. Fair. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'd consider trading Lowry if we could get him in. That's kind of crazy, James. That's kind of crazy. No cap. Um. What about a man makes you that over the moon about him, so to speak? A man will be nice to you. Chris, yeah, man. Hope the 2-1-2 zone was their first attempt at it because it was awful. I wouldn't trade Lowry or for a man because a man would most likely leave when his contract is up. It's a reasonable point you could make. Realistically, how many years till the Jazz win something? Um, 2 more years, like after the season, 1, 2, maybe 3, before they're like a legitimate playoff threat. I would say. He said Clarkson played his best game as the sixth man. I hope Hardy doesn't get carried away and try to bench Sexton. Guys are in their right roles right now. Yes, I would agree. This is literally the lineup hold on. Aside from John Collins starting at the center spot, and I actually don't hate Kelly Olynyk at the 4. I don't hate that. Aside from the fact that he's extremely foul prone, like 4 fouls in 16 and a half minutes is crazy. It's a foul every 4 minutes. He almost fouled out in a quarter and a half. But yeah, Walker Kessler in for John Collins. Basically, this is the backcourt I was hoping for, right? Colin Sexton, Chris Dunn. That's how I wanted us to start the season. We didn't get that to start the season that way. I know Colin Sexton is a starter, and I know he is a capable scorer with efficiency. Tonight was a better shooting night than he's had recently. Also took less shots, so maybe that is in part because of it. That said, Chris Dunn continued to show why what he did at the end of last season was not a fluke with his 13 assists that he just had. Love that for him. That said, 3 years when Keontae is impossible to stop on a walking double-double. Oh, what's up, Incognito? Yes, sir. That boy Jay. Usually real builds go like this. 1 year can be a surprise, losing or winning. Year 2 can be lose more. Year 3 could lose a little less. 4 is about 500. 5 is a winning year. Think so? I feel like we might be a little bit ahead of the curve. That said, it would make sense. Like last year was year 1. This year, rocky, probably in line with year 2. I would say next year that year 3 and 4 might be. It's possible. I'm not gonna say it's extremely likely, right? But I'm willing to go 60-40, like 60% they like kind of exceed expectations next year, win wise. Not a crazy team, but more solid on the road than we've seen them be on the road. Even if they're just competitive, like that's enough. I think they can build a 50-win team this summer. You think so? What do you think it would take? Yeah, Collins is just a weird fit in general. Yeah, at this point, Collins' effort on defense is concerning too. Yes, and it's also hard to get 4 fouls in such a short period of time because that means you're either making goofy mistakes or you're getting caught out of position way too much. Like nobody should be getting foul bait, like foul should be that foul prone basically. Like that's I love having Kelly. Like in 16 minutes, 16 and a half minutes, he had 7 assists, right? But he also had four personal fouls. It's tough. Besides Lowry's extension, there's money and assets to move around. I could see that. You said I'd be surprised, happily surprised, if they can be a 50-win team. More likely they'll be slightly below 500. Not to say they'll be 50 wins, but I think they can have 50-win talent on the roster. I'm going to agree with you because they have so much assets, they can make so many mistakes and still be okay, which is honestly unprecedented in so many ways. I agree, Dunn and Sexton. I want them to actively go to Sexton on offense more. Tonight was cool because Clarkson had a good night, but long term, Lowry and Sexton should be the go-to guys. I would agree with that. That to me, that makes the most sense. It's just logically sound. Sexton also plausibly defers to either Chris Dunn or when Keontae's in the game. Keontae, which we are not accustomed to seeing. If you've usually watched Colin Sexton play, when he was with Darius Garland, it was okay. But by and large, it was more so him being a little hesitant to defer at times. But this season, we're seeing him just defer willingly. Like they pass him the ball, he surveys the floor and passes it right back to them, kind of situation. Chris Dunn obviously did not shoot well today, but I believe that his assist numbers currently are not a fluke. To me, he's always been a table setter. He's never had the ability to go out and give you 20 on any given night. Might he randomly slip in 20? Maybe closer to 17, but could he potentially get you 20 at a random day? Maybe. Consistently, no. But that's good because Chris Dunn fills a role that we need. Playmaking. Which is why I thought he should have been starting over THT in the beginning. But recently, I can't crack on THT because THT has been pretty solid. However, when Chris Dunn finally got his opportunity, he said, "Hey, man, say, man, look at me. You've been coach. You've been DNPing me. You haven't been putting me in position to win games for us. I can hoop too, and that's what this time is saying to me right now." I mean, based on previous rebuilds, that's the average. If they can build a 50-win team, I'll be thrilled. Kelly is so underrated. Take him off the roster and we start losing games. Kelly definitely serves a purpose. And this one, his impact wasn't completely felt, obviously, because he only was able to stay on the court for a little over 16 minutes. But he's definitely had his times where he's made even the losses a little bit more bearable with his effort. That said, you said, I think Clarkson proved tonight he should be our 6th man. Keep Sexton starter for now. Yeah, at the very least. Now, if you can get a solid return for a younger piece for Jordan Clarkson and maybe a draft pick, I might entertain it. I would definitely entertain it, honestly, because they're entertaining trades for Lowry Marketing. So you have to entertain trades for Jordan Clarkson, honestly, because he's the more capably traded individual. This current roster should be a sub 500 team, in my opinion. Yeah. The way the lineups have been played, absolutely. If we start out the season with Chris Dunn, Colin Sexton, Walker Kessler, even if you go Kelly Olynyk and then Lowry Markkinen, and those are your top 5, and then you have Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Ochai off the bench, under the assumption that Taylor Hendricks is still in the G League, like doing his individual thing. That's a team that can be. That's about a 500 team, in my opinion. in my opinion. Like maybe if we were to extrapolate across an entire season, maybe 40 and 42, 38 and 40, what is that? 38 and 44 at worst. Also, it could have been a slightly above middle of the pack. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, Kelly Olynyk allows our offense to keep piece of ball movement. Exactly. Yep. I agree with you on Kelly Olynyk, which is exactly why our front office will trade him. He said we'll play better with him, which is why the front office will get rid of his. Just a bunch of lineup inconsistencies and too many road games have made that quite difficult. Fair. Take out Kelly in the starting lineup and Kessler, Collins, Lowry in the same time. Ball doesn't move at all. Dan Clarkson gets blamed for missing tough shots. Fair. Fair. I bite on that. 100%. I think Collins is kind of trash. I really hope he can improve. I wouldn't say he's trash. I think he has a very specific niche area of success. And his lack of overall understanding on defense hinders his ability to be playable because offensively, yes, he can shoot the three ball exceptionally well. Yes, he can dunk the ball. Um, he can occasionally make the extra pass when he needs to. When he drive and kicks, usually it finds its mark, but by and large, it's not a big facet of his game, which limits what he can honestly do. Also, he's not a rim protector in the slightest, in my personal opinion. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So I think just remember we got Collins for Rudy Gay. It's not about remind myself. I think he's exactly like either way you look at it. Trading a second round pick plus Rudy Gay is a pretty winnable move right there. Like it's hard. It's hard to have considered it an overpay, right? I would argue it's borderline impossible because how much would Rudy Gay do for this roster at this moment? And that second round draft pick that we gave, probably not much, realistically, at least on this team. True, but I think Hendricks is more winning impact than Collins right now. Yeah, yeah, I'll buy that. I'll definitely buy that. Hendricks and Collins play the same minutes. Hendricks is more has more of an immediate impact on the game's outcome specifically. Lowry's the only guaranteed starter on the team to me. After that, Kelly and Walker are the only guys who are possible starters on the great team, but they have their faults. Interesting. Couple of real rotation players, JC, Collins, THT, Dunn, and Sexton. Problem with that is a lot of redundant skill sets in that. I mean, yeah, you could argue that JC and Sexton are very similar. Um, Collins just has a funky skill set that doesn't really fit everything. THT does a lot of things well, but at the same time, because he does a lot of things well, he does a lot of things not perfect. Dunn is the most ideal and traditional point guard. I see what you're saying. He said trade THT. We scored over 120 without him on the road. I mean, THT has been solid for us these past few games, so I have to make a video specifically about him to shout out just his overall praises in this situation because I don't know if we can expect this from him on a consistent basis, but it looked good until he went down. Um, Sexton's way more than a rotation player. Yeah, I would say that. I would probably say that Sexton is a starter for me. Off the bench, Colin Sexton is significantly. I'm not gonna say worse, but he's obviously not the same player when he comes off the bench versus when he starts. Similarly, I'm trying to gauge who or what Chris Dunn is. Like which version of Chris Dunn is Chris Dunn? The hyper efficient one, the Dimer Hall of Fame one. It's just I'm trying to gauge it. I think if I get like 2 more games of him starting at point guard, I'll know for certain. But I need to wait it out and see. Facts. I can get with getting rid of THT because Dunn does the same things for the veteran minimum. For the vet minimum. Fair. Quote me on that. He'll be out of the league in 2 years. Out of the league is crazy, James. The thing is, THT does a lot of things well, and I think because of that, a lot of teams can a lot of teams could use him. Not in the sense of like being a starter. I just think that he could be there. What's up, Kuzi? What's up, my boy? He said THT does two things that are make him unplayable: 3-point percentage and turnovers. Yeah, his 3-point percentage is actually like bad. Like it was respectable at the beginning of the year. Like it wasn't good, it wasn't great, but it was like acceptable. Like if he takes 3 or less threes, you can live with the result. But lately, it's been god awful. Undoing literally every good thing that he did. That was like one of the only surprises to his game this year. The Jazz will get 7 less shots per night with him on the floor. Yeah, fair. I think Sexton is a high minute 6 man. Really? Or he's playing him 20 minutes when he thought he'd be playing 24 to 28 minutes. I feel like Sexton's a 30 to 34 minute guy. Sexton also plays his best basketball in the fourth quarter, I've realized. Not to say that he's like bad in the other 3 quarters, but he just seems to really be there in the fourth quarter on some like Jimmy Buckets type stuff. It can go 2 ways. Ball moves better with Donner. Can't than before versus THT. I think it depends on the night. THT passed the ball to Larry like 8 times. Second is Key with 6 times. Again, fair. James, that scares me. You say that because last thing I want to see is him going for a event every game, dropping 30 on us. If he isn't in the league. Sexton with that steal halftime though. Didn't get points, but I love it. Yeah, energy. 2-8-second violation season. Damn. Yeah, the biggest thing with Colin Sexton is defensively, we know he's here's the biggest thing, and all objectivity about Colin Sexton. He's going to be the hunted guy on defense, right? Because you can't start him at point guard because he's not a point guard, which means you're going to have an average sized point guard out there, i.e. Chris Dunn, or, whatever you decide to take, Keontae, whatever the case. Which means if you're playing up at the 2, he at 6'2" on a good day is obviously shorter and less lengthy as some of the premier 2s in the league, which limits what he can do defensively for them. I watched him get dismantled in the preseason by Bones Highland, which honestly like broke my heart because it wasn't like Bones Highland was just doing him. It was just literally he was there, he had the hand up, and he just couldn't get a stop because he's too little. Getting a proper zone defense worked out, I think, would benefit him the most out of anybody. Is there some level of switchability? I guess. Do you necessarily want to play with it? No. Naturally, no. Absolutely not. Not if you can't help it. You said, well, the thing with Sexton is you almost have to play a zone with him because you can't play switch. Oh, okay. So, yeah, you literally were more or less on the same page I was. Proven closer, yeah. Dropping 30 points on the SOC stars. Yeah, James got that THT hate vendetta out here. He's pushing propaganda. Need to finish recording my video for tomorrow. We should do a collab live in the next game. The ugly one. We'll see what we can do, Lee. Absolutely, brother. He says Sexton is nice. I feel like you can afford to give him play against second units. Yeah, I can see that. I can't believe it's already been a month. Watching this and having come in recommended. W. Lee. I think you could. I also think that Sexton plays best when there's something on the line. I think he's okay when like it's just random minutes of any part of the game, but like when it's clutch time or when it's like do or die, I think he succeeds more in those situations. Really just depends, I guess. Excuse me. Yeah. And Merry Christmas and an amazing holiday. All love for all of you. Yes, certainly. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Oh my God, knows what the coaching staff is going to do when the team is healthy. You're telling me Sexton at home turns into a dog. Literally. Like Pat Beverly with shot making all of a sudden. You too, Lee American. Mm-hmm. Hate to be there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't want to make the live too crazy long just because even though I did start late, I wanted to get a good hour in with you guys just so we could like talk over the general understanding of today's things and everything, things of that nature. And just appreciate a W because, you know, those aren't as easy to come by as we would love for them to be. The good news is we play San Antonio next. Is it really good news? This is the thing about San Antonio, right? They don't get blown out very often. My biggest thing about San Antonio, how one of these games, because I work Sunday through Thursday night on security because school's out. So Tuesday and Thursday, I will be streaming probably off my phone in the car, realistically speaking. And then we'll be good on Saturday night. Okay, wait. Okay. I'm here. I'm here. I understand it mentally. I'm locked. Um, the Spurs have a bad record, but they're not getting clapped in every game, I would say. So the biggest thing for them is they always, you said, very well could make the streak 6-2. I don't know. Watch Kessler play Wemby. That'll be interesting. And that's also under the assumption that they actually properly use Wemby. Because if they don't, then it won't be very much of an interesting matchup to see. Because realistically, in my eyes, Victor Wembanyama should never go a game not scoring double digits. It's unfathomable to me that you cannot find 5 good looks for your generational talent who has the ability to touch the rim and everything and just go at speeds that other people can't, catch the ball at angles that other people can't, and just do all these elite things. Like I just can't fathom that. It doesn't make sense to me. So what? Kessler's gonna teach Wemby some stuff. You heard it here first. What's our last 10? Last 10? What you mean? Oh, like our most recent 10 games that we've played? Beat the Raptors, beat the Pistons, lost to the Cavs, beat the Nets, lost to the Kings, beat the Trailblazers, beat the Knicks, lost to the Thunder, lost to the Clippers, lost to the Mavericks. Is that how many back is that? 2, 4. Oh, that is 10. But if we want to go up back 2 more, we go beat the Trailblazers, lost to the Timberwolves. So pretty middle of the road overall. Like I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Obviously, we lost to the Cavs, which is a little stingy, but neither here nor there. It's women's paint protection that's keeping them in games. I could see that. They turn it over a lot. Big Abaji game incoming. You think so? You think so? You think it's cookies for Abaji, huh? I can see it. Strategy should be to get Kessler in the paint and try to foul out Wemby. With that, cotton candy. His because he can't stop nothing. Yeah, Greg Popovich. I've had to accept that it might be the end of Popovich's NBA elite success. It's weird seeing coaches like not be good anymore because when you think of not being good anymore, you think somebody's their physicality, their ability to be athletic, like it just faded out and then them along with it. But with coaches, it's more so like they just get old and their brains don't work the way that they used to. And we forget that we've been blessed with Greg Popovich for so long, but he's literally like 78 years old or something like that. So it's crazy. Um, Abaji is great in transition. Absolutely. He runs the floor. Um, you're my long lost twin. I call it Jeremy Cotton Candy. Remember his hair last year, the pink and blue? Yeah, I do. I remember he convinced Wemby to dye his hair. That was hilarious. Word is that Lowry is going to get a 5-year, 235 million extension this summer. Yes, sir. What I thought they were going to end up doing was front loading a little bit of money onto the last year of this, and then extending him outwards to give him a nice healthy chunk. But they might just end up putting him on that 535, low key. He said, "Not for real, James. We think so." Like Greg Popovich, no matter what, will always be a top 5 coach. Absolutely, absolutely. Can't take nothing away from him. First game, Clarkson helped us win. Well, technically the second, because the second game of the season against the Clippers, he closed it out. But it is definitely arguable that without Jordan Clarkson, how does that happen? Or how do we win? If Lowry gets 30, who are we getting the rest of the points from? Is Colin Sexton going to be that guy? Is Chris Dunn going to shoot a little better? Like, interesting game that you can't really play with as much as you'd like to think, as much as we'd like to think that we can. Pop is still a good coach. You can make players dribble with their heads. Fair. Most definitely. Everything comes with time. Everything comes with time. Possible to not see the 7-4 guy on the court with you. Well, it seems like some guys are still hesitant to pass him the ball. He gets too few paint touches to me. Like there's so many times where the offense breaks down and Wemby doesn't end up with the ball in his hands. And it's like, but how? Like that's the one shirt. Death, taxes, and Wembenyama's gonna be long as hell. Like, is it really that hard to find him on the floor? To me personally, I don't think so. Oh no, you good, Zach? Man, look, I was the late one actually, because this stream should have technically already been over. I should have been on like what the game finished around 9:30 Eastern time, 9:50. So yeah, I really should have been done like an hour and a half ago at least. But had to get a cool hour in. Unfortunately, I got a security job tonight. Not loving it, but we'll do what it do. What's your top 5 rookies in the league? Well, let me see. Pull up a list of who's doing good. We're gonna. Is the rookie ladder still dropping? About to look at this and see if I actually agree with anything. They said Victor Wembanyama at 1. Oh, his numbers went up a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fair. Yeah, it's not crazy. Victor, Chet, Jamie Vath, Hame. Yeah, he's tough. Brandon Miller's been pretty solid. Yeah. Sword Thompson. I think I like him better than Brandon Miller a little bit, just a little bit. Derek Lively's been tough too. And then obviously Keontae George. Um, Wall Koble. I can't give it to him. Let's see. He's open every possession just about. Literally, it's hard for him not to be. Uh, my rookies. Young back Tyson. To be fair, you are on the East Coast, my dude. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Somebody for y'all in Utah, it's what 10:37, about to be 10:40 now. Dropping by to celebrate the huge comeback W. Yep, definitely needed epic. Let's see. Saw the rookie ladder last week. Yeah. When we was at 1, somehow Keontae was at 5. Yeah. Keontae slipped to 7th just because he hasn't played recently, which is understandable, I'll say. I'll say that. It makes sense. Yeah. Except when we got injured. Chet, Wemby, Miller, Keontae, Asor. I might have to switch Asor and Keontae and put Keontae at 5 low key. But by and large, I didn't realize that Wemby's numbers actually were slightly better than Chet's. I thought that they were like not worse per se, but I thought Chet just seems to have been doing better lately, if that makes sense. By the end of the season, though, if his numbers simply are better, then obviously Wemby's going to be the guy that gets the nod for the award. But regardless, yeah, I have the same 5 mentally. I have the same 5. I would actually put Asor at 3 because Brandon Miller, while he is playing decently, is not constrained. It's not turning into wins. It's kind of like a John Collins kind of thing, where like yes, he's scoring, but it's not pushing the needle at all. It's just there. So I put him at 5, low key. Keontae at 4. I feel bad for the Raptors. They have a team that you undoubtedly like every player on the roster, but it doesn't work for whatever reason. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Nothing much. Had to do a bonfire here soon. About to rob Chet if rookie of the year, the same way Jokic was robbed of MVP. Haven't watched because though people are going nuts about him. Yeah, he's been pretty solid very, very recently. He said Hami will have some highlight reel level stuff, but overall he is not the best. Yeah, I think more than anything, he's a product of his environment. Kind of like how some players end up being bad because they're just in a poorly coached area. Like if you go to the Detroit Pistons, your career is probably basically over already. But for him, he got brought into like a culture thing, and he are that culture. Wemby's numbers are not better. He gets more points because he takes more shots. Yeah, but okay. So on the rookie ladder site, at the very least, it has him down as 19 points, 11 boards, 3 blocks. For Chet, it's 17 points, 8 boards, 2.8 blocks. So from that context, I don't know what the assist numbers are in steals as well as turnovers because those matter as well. But by and large, they're barely neck and neck. Me personally, at the moment, I'm picking Chet because Chet just seems to be doing better against a multitude of teams. But I can't deny the fact that Victor Wembanyama should, in theory, be that guy. They robbed Chet. Chet's efficiency is way better. He's basically marketed. Really? Sir, is a total 0 on offense, though. I wouldn't say a 0. He's like a calm 10 points, right? Isn't he? Is he not? He's having like 10 or 11 points. Yeah, actually, 10 even. Low key. The Pistons cut his minutes, though. Huh. Interesting. He said Pistons making history at the moment. I don't know. Wemby is 19, averaging 20 and 10 with incomplete teammates versus Chet being 21 and efficient on a well put together roster. Defense is dominant though. Fair, 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 fair. I'm not mad at that at all, money. Yo, Jordan Hawkins is so nice. Refs over. Huh? Oh, I know what dick you're talking about. I'm playing. You think the Pistons are willing to trade us, sir? I don't think so yet. I think after like 2 years, they might. They might just look at it, or if they sell the team, they might like do a fire sale on some guys. Why didn't he play today? Is he hurt? Is he just stuck? Who? I just refer height when they draft. Yeah. Send him THT or JC for him. JC, call that occur. No, because I just see randomly dick pops up on my screen. I'm like, hey, yo. What is going on in my chat today? Pistons are wasting their talent. They always do that, though. They always have a lot of talent and no general direction for what they want to do. That's their biggest issue. And it's honestly concerning and irritating at the same time. If I am to be frank. Business long-term problem is their core pieces can't shoot. Fair. Business need to fire every coach assistant. Business give us a server. Give me a THT or JC, whichever helps them more. Sir K. Durant can't shoot threes. True. Never has anything. Yeah. We had Kate Cunningham put up 6 turnovers. I don't think the Jazz have been able to force that many turnovers out of anybody. 6 is diabolical. Maybe it was 4. Yeah, the still high number. Anyways. Should trade for Cade, Loki. I don't know. He's kind of turnover prone to me. You said Cade is a 3. Really? You think he's a 3 is in a small forward? Yeah, they in theory they should not give up on Cade. He's one of the few guarantees that they have on that roster. So giving him up would be like very bad move on their part. But it is not to say that they haven't done bad moves before, because they are more or less known for it. Indeed. What do we have here? I'd trade 2 to 3 picks and Sensible for Cade. He said, bro can't defend guards. Low key. I thought I was the only person that picked up on that. I couldn't tell if it was a me being biased thing and just not liking him, or like what was going on there. Either way, yeah, I'm definitely with you on that one. Definitely with you on that one. Most certainly. Loki likes Sensible's attitude. What do you mean? They were interviewing rookies before the season started. I don't remember what Hendricks and Keontae said, but they asked, "What are you looking forward to most?" Ah, interesting. I think it'll be worth stashing Sensible in the G League once it's time for him to go. I think he'll be ready. I think if Cade played in our offense, his turnovers would go way down. You think so? Interesting. I always say build a roster around your best players' defensive abilities. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to actually look into that, James. You make an interesting case. And Bryce said playing a playoff game in front of the hometown crowd. I love the answer. Yeah, I can understand that. Like Larry's best defensive position is power forward. Fair. Can't be mad at that at all, honestly. It makes enough sense. To me, at least. I don't know if I'm just being a special snowflake, but logically, it makes sense to me. For me personally. Mm-hmm. Bring a wing defender out there for him. So it's with Hendricks. For sure, gentlemen. He said, have high hopes for Hendricks as well on offense as well as Trump defense. So he has to step it up for sure. I think he's a really good two-way monster, honestly. Maybe not peak Kawhi, but, not a lot saying that he couldn't be Kawhi. Yeah. Says, sadly, the Pistons need spacing, reliable scorers. They can't have both, but injuries hit their best spaces, and they can't have one reliable scorer. Fair. They just seem to encounter the same thing all the time, over and over. 2014 Kawhi. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. It's not the wildest thing to say in the world. So that's why I think they're a good trade partner for us. Okay, fair. I see what you're saying, Logic. I see what you're saying. I'm willing to bite on your statement. Who said? Crypto, what's up, man? Yeah, he had a good game today. I think this was his audition tape to prove to everybody that he could still hoop and all that. So that's good for him. overall. Makes him look better. What do you say? We need a player that can play downhill and guard twos and threes. Fair. Well, yeah, Ochai. Yeah. I give them Collins if the deal was good, contained one of the young players we could use. Yeah. I would say we definitely have, like, at worst, we still have to entertain it just to see what comes of it. And then, if we don't like it, it is what it is. But just having said, you know, how smooth it works. Yeah. What am I looking at right now? I would agree that Ochai probably needs to be set up in a way that he can attack downhill a little bit better. But no, that's not to say that I hate what he does. Right? He just needs to build on it. Um, so do I think he gets traded? JC, yeah, yeah. I think ultimately it's in our best interest to go ahead and give an opportunity to win somewhere else and just be productive in a new situation. And there's a lot of teams that want to give him the opportunity. So I say at the very least entertain it and see what you can get out of it. And if you think it's a good haul, go ahead and let that man fly. Good draft. Um, I'll say considering what they've been, like James is saying, that considering what they've been able to get in the draft, I think that it's reliable from the fact that you can make people fall in love with Utah off the draft. You can't make really people um fall in love with Utah through being stars, right? Like Kevin Durant will come to Utah and not want to be in Utah. De'Aaron Fox, shoulder shrug. Not really sure about him, but just different guys. It's hard to find a star that would want to stay in Utah. So drafting players and making them into stars. No, my thing is messing up. Would likely be the best option that they have available to them. Um, it's in our best interest to play Henderson more. Yeah, long term, most definitely. Long term, most definitely. But yeah, is my stream lagging mental environments? I mean, yeah, there's no distractions, or there's not really much to. Okay, yeah, I thought it was. I kind of peeped it a little bit, but I didn't know how bad it was. It's trying to warn me that I'm tired or something. I guess I don't know. Grab a top 50-ish player over going to the draft as the primary way. It depends on the player personality, all that sort of stuff builds, all goes into it. If you can get a younger piece that you can mold, I would say yeah. If not, I would say probably because with the number of draft picks they have, they can afford to misfire so many times. Brunson wouldn't want to come to us though. It'd be interesting, but I don't think he would want to come to us. Just history. Plus, he would low key make Colin Sexton redundant. So then at that point, do you trade Colin Sexton and put Abaji at the two? I don't know. TJ McConnell from the Pacers as veteran presence for Keontae. I don't know if that would even take. Not impossible. Not impossible. Interesting. That's an interesting pick, though, Money. Or, not Money, Zach. It's an interesting pick. French top 50 at best. Yeah, I'll probably agree with that. Mitchell and Gobert carried those teams. Yeah, it was very interesting times, but Conley was still instrumental in the team's success. I would say a really great table setter all across the board, all things considered. Anything else y'all boys wanted to chat about real quick before I hopped off? Man, Gobert's effect is insane. If not, that's cool, man. Absolutely have to, James. Have to. I'm waiting for Sachin to finish editing this one video because I can't. I'm not going to send him the next one until he finishes that one. I thought it would have been done 2 days ago, but I'm guessing I'm going to get it overnight today because it's 1 p.m. for him, so he should be working on it right now. So he would have been disappointed if we would have grabbed Porzingis or Drew Holiday last offseason. Oh, I would have loved to have Drew Holiday, but the likelihood of us getting him was slim. Porzingis wouldn't really care too much for because we have Lowry. And I'm not going to say they're redundant, but Porzingis doesn't do a lot of things better than Lowry that Lowry doesn't already do pretty solid. But yeah, I would love to have Drew Holiday, undoubtedly. Put in bids for them. Ah, okay, I get you. But yeah, man. That said, appreciate you boys popping out to the stream. Got to enjoy another Jazz W, which is always lovely to have, especially considering the type of season we've had. Only 6 games under 500, so bearable, realistically speaking. Really, really, really bearable. There's more positives to be had, I'm sure. Play the Spurs next. It's not going to be a simple game. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but it should be a winnable game. Point blank, period. That said, can't take anything for granted as we realize we are the Utah Jazz. And that aside, hopefully things go pretty smooth, pretty handedly. If I do stream, I will be at work, both for the Tuesday game and the Thursday game, so I'll probably be on my phone. Probably do like a 30, 45-ish minute stream just to go over the game numbers and whatnot, and then we'll go from there. But and it's Christmas. Ugh. Wait, no, it's not. Christmas is Monday. I'm on Route 5. Ew. Either way, we'll be ready and rocking the goal. But with that said, I appreciate you guys tuning into the live stream. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, turn on post notifications, and become a member if you haven't already to get the videos faster than anybody else. And tell a friend about the channel, man. With that being said, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you're on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.